Pokemon content creation, it is no longer in its infancy. We have a lot of different types of content creators making a wide variety of content for anything in the Pokemon space. I mean, look at what I'm doing right here. Very evident that we have a lot of different types of creators. One thing that happens when a lot of people make a lot of content is there's a lot of mooches. There's a lot of people, a little bit of leeches, hanging on the backsides of creators, taking their content and reposting it up on other platforms or sometimes the same platform in order to leech off the success of others. No exception when it comes to Pokemon. We have several instances of people's content just straight up getting jacked. I don't mean like referencing a piece of content either and using it as part of your own for like a bigger project. I don't mean anything like that. If you're using it as like a reference or you're using it in fair use, whatever, do your thing, not really the big deal. Hell, if you want to just repost people's content, I don't really honestly care that fucking much. You're a piece of shit for doing it, but ultimately, if YouTube or Instagram doesn't want to stop it, they can't recognize the fact that people are just reposting people's content, like this dude over here, just taking Goat Breakers and Alex's content, just taking it and just throwing it up and be like, oh yeah, by the way, guys, what they're opening right here, I totally have it for sale. This totally isn't a scam. Just, if Instagram sees nothing wrong with this, then fucking so be it, I suppose. I mean, there is something wrong with it, but we can't do anything about that. It's a real crying shame. Powder is a big victim of this too, Powder TCG. He gets his shit stolen all the time, and the platforms don't really want to do anything about it. They're just like, I see nothing wrong here. They just want to be like you. They want to like walk in your shoes for a little bit. They idolize you. You're their hero. I don't know what YouTube's think. I don't know. I don't care. Beyond the point. We have instances of people who also just take people's content and they just throw it up on their page as some kind of central hub, and they use celebrity status in order to do that stuff, such as Jason Paige. Everyone loves Jason Paige. Everyone here loves that guy. Nothing wrong with that guy at all. Just taking people's content, throwing it up, and half the time, not even putting any kind of credit for where they got said content, especially for some people's hard-earned content or things they have done, like such as sales or anything like that. He doesn't do it all the fucking time. A good chunk of his page is him promoting himself, eating out of the trash can and other stuff that he does, right? But he does take people's content, he does take memes, and he just throws up on his page and is like, good enough, I'm Jason Paige, I should be charging people for being in the Pokemon space because I was here first, and this is just my way of taking things a little back. That's mine, this is mine, that's mine, and this is mine. Then we have instances of people just taking content, like posting it up, adding very minimal things to it, and claiming they deserve some kind of credit for that, which is very much like the rest of YouTube, the entitlement of other content creators and YouTubers adding the minorest of edits, the minorest of things, and being like, this is mine, take it, without adding any kind of additional take or something like that. Jason Paige actually took one of those up, threw it on his page. Let's actually look at what they posted up. Let's see what kind of brilliant video that he took from a hard-working, hard-earned creator that made a hard video.
From Burger King to the king of internet retailing.
If you guys don't know what Pokemon is, you're in need of some serious remedial toy education.
Kids certainly don't need it. Far this year, sales of trading cards, toys, and video games surpassed $500 million in the U.S. Another $4 billion was sold overseas. Hasbro is still fighting to keep up with demand, even after boosting production capacity 20 times.
Well, follow us for more. I mean, that's basically just an old news broadcast that was put out about 25 years ago talking about the Pokemon craze and how crazy nutso-butso people are going for them dang Pokemon cards. A lot of interesting stuff, especially relatable now that people still have access to Pokemon cards nowadays, 25 plus years later. Well, what did the actual creator of this that Jason Paige stole it from add? Because from that, you probably couldn't tell other than the follow for more. Here, let me blow it out a little bit for you. Let's watch that one more time, and we can watch the sweet, sick edits that the actual creator did for this stuff right here. Let's watch that, shall we?
From Burger King to the king of internet retailing.
If you guys don't know what Pokemon is, you're in need of some serious remedial toy education.
Kids certainly don't need it. Far this year, sales of trading cards, toys, and video games surpassed $500 million in the U.S. Another $4 billion was sold overseas. Hasbro is still fighting to keep up with demand, even after boosting production capacity 20 times.
Yeah, that's right, everybody. The thing that they added, the most important part about this video, the little edits and snippets they put in there themselves that can be completely ignored. Nothing changes about the video whatsoever if you just crop in on the video. There's a little tip for you, Jason Paige, next time, so people don't get worried that you just stole someone's video, which it's hilarious. We'll get that here in a second. Yeah, putting closed captions on the video is what this person did and what their sick edits are that require crediting. So when Jason Paige threw this up on his video, Pokesun TCG made a story claiming that, you know, hey, I worked hard on this video. I did a bunch, not crediting the creators, Jason Paige, is such a stupid, crappy thing to do. And you're absolutely right. I don't think anybody who actually defended people like getting their content stolen, that's not a bad thing at all. That's really not a terrible thing to stand for. And that's not my issue at all. My issue here is when people who just take news clips and slap them up on their page with like no edits. Look, I'm sorry, closed captions don't really count as that stuff. Putting little text underneath and little emojis, that's cool and all, but that's not really transforming the video. When I can just crop into it and completely just not get a different video at all you're adding is something for the audibly disabled. That's all you're really doing, and you're giving an extra tool for someone to watch the video and still get that. I guarantee the original video had that stuff as well. Jason Paige originally threw it up, or Jason Paige's team, whoever runs Jason Paige's fucking Instagram or whatever, I don't know, allegedly, it's up on his page, and it's still up on their page. He put it up without any kind of credit to where he got it from at all too, and after a big old stink got made, he did eventually add the credit to it, putting Poke SMP or whatever the hell it was. It's the other page, basically crediting Pokesun TCG. What's hilarious about this though, and what I truly find is funny, and what I think is just the fucking the pot calling the kettle black over here, is she didn't do the same thing for the news article she was clipping before. She has it now after the fact that they called out Jason Paige. I'm assuming either somebody walked up to her and was like, hey, you look fucking stupid claiming that you need credit for something that you yourself aren't crediting yourself, or she kind of thought about it, was like, man, I should probably put that up. But they did the exact same thing that Jason Paige had done in that instance, in 2 counts, where they didn't credit it and they just took some other person's content, threw it up, and called it good. I've seen instances where like, oh, it's a 20-year-old fucking news broadcast, so it shouldn't matter. It's different than like taking, oh, so it's okay for like, if it's 20 years later, you can just take anything, drop it into fucking Adobe, throw some text underneath it, and that makes it yours because you posted on Instagram. Like, and because Jason Paige took that and threw it up on his page, he deserves to credit the person. No, the person Jason Paige should be crediting is the fucking news broadcast station that he took that shit from. A YouTube link would actually be nice. Hey, mid-editing opossum here, and I found something really funny on YouTube. I was trying to find the original clip that Pokesun probably used in order to make her closed captions take for this, to make sure that the deaf can get the Pokemon news from CNN from 1999, and I found this. It's on YouTube as well. They put it up, and look, not even a trace of any kind of source or anything like that. The only reason they put any kind of like source or anything where they got it from or credit over on Instagram is because people probably were throwing a big old stink about it. YouTube has absolutely nothing. No credit needed for YouTube, no nothing, and whatever. Here's probably the actual clip that they got it from. I know it's not the original. However, that shouldn't matter for Pokesun because after all, this person, I guarantee, dropped it in Adobe and kicked it out, and you know, they deserve some credit for the work they did. In all honesty, if that's what she truly believes, then this person should get the credit. So here, if you want to watch it without all the goofy edits and you want to watch it in its entirety, here you go. I'll have this in the description below. CNN is the original person that had it, but I can't find the original for that. So here you go. I guarantee this is the clip she used. The person, Pokesun TCG, and here, look, no offense, this isn't anything against you, but this content fucking sucks, okay? This is not something you need to be claiming credit for. Just generating text underneath it and being like, yeah, I deserve credit for that. That's what I did. Check out my sick edits, bro. Fucking Jeff Bezos likes Pokemon. Hasbro's having hard. That doesn't add anything to the video. You're better than that. The video you posted like today of you doing stuff where you're actually talking about the eBay stuff, do more stuff like that. And if Jason Paige takes this video and throws it on his fucking page, I will be the first person to bat for you saying, screw this. You don't need to be taking stuff that is her content. You are actually in the video. You're adding a solid take. You're doing something with that content besides just straight up reposting it. But taking a news clip and then just being like, I demand credit for this when you didn't create the news clip, you didn't add a take, you're not in the video, it doesn't need your text at all. I can literally zoom into the video and it doesn't change the context of it whatsoever. You're not going to win that battle in fair use court. You're not going to win that battle with like other people. And quite frankly, it's just goofy. It's not a good look claiming credit when you yourself, look, I have proof. You didn't credit any of those videos. You went all through that and you only did it after the fact you called out Jason Paige. It's the pot calling the kettle black, and you're better than that. We don't need to be on stuff. Jason Paige still a goofball. Like, he really is. Taking content, putting it up there. But let's actually defend content that's actually stolen, that real creators are putting their work into. Not this bullshit. We can do better than this. Let's actually go defend other people who are getting their real content with them in it, such as Powder, such as Alex Ketchum, such as it's just fucking I don't know. It's turning into other facets of YouTube here, where people are just so entitled to things that they did not create, they didn't have a take for. They're running wild with it. They think it's theirs, and they want credit for putting the bare minimum of effort. They say what you will about me, and say what you will about my content. It's mean, whatever. At least I have a take. At least I'm standing here saying something and trying to add something to the conversation. You don't win this argument with other people's content just slapping it up. Oh, I threw an Adobe and threw text on it. It's mine now. No, it's not. It's really not. That wouldn't be acceptable for anyone else's content. It wouldn't be acceptable if I took that from another person's page. Wouldn't be acceptable if I did that with a big media. And quite frankly, it literally devolves into stealing from Walmart versus stealing from a small business. Stealing is stealing. Yes, it impacts somebody a little bit more if you do it somewhere else, but stealing is stealing. You shouldn't be taking it regardless. And asking for credit for something you did not create is hilarious and will never not be hilarious. No hard feelings. I don't have anything against you. Just this content war, we have actual victims in it that are actually getting their stuff stolen. When Jason Paige steals this of you Fortnite dancing, let me know, and I will fucking I'll get my helmet, get my lance, and we'll destroy him. We'll lampoon that fool. Till then, make some better content. I know you can. That's all I got, Virgin Gang. See you later. Have a good one. It's yeah, whew. I think I'm going to start doing that. I'm just going to take Rock Sandy or metric clips and just drop them in Adobe. Little 10-second ones. Be like, well, I dropped in Adobe to add some fucking text. I guess I own it now. What are they going to do? They can't do anything. What would they do?